You see, we are created in a magnificent vibration, in an ebb vibration, born risk takers, free. That conditioning takes place after birth. You can change it. It takes guts. It takes goals. And you know something? You're sitting there watching this and you're thinking, my God, I'm going to change something. I always say, keep reminding yourself that you have tremendous reservoirs of potential within you. And therefore, you are quite capable of doing anything you set your mind to. You really can. I don't care what the cynics tell you. Quit listening to some of your peers. You just figure out how you can do it, not whether you can. When are you going to do it? You've got to create a sense of urgency. I'm going to do it right now.
If you can see it, you can do it. But the beautiful truth is you can do anything. We got to know there is a specific frequency. And if you get on that frequency, you're going to attract what you need to you. This is what it's all about. Why have you been endowed with such awesome powers? If you'll make a committed decision, this I'm going to do. And you don't have to know how. You do not have to know how. The second you make the committed decision, you flip your brain onto the frequency that you have to be on to attract what you have to attract to manifest the thing that you want. If you can see it, you can do it. It's got to be something you want. Wants come from inside. Act like you're already there. Walk, talk, speak, live like you're already there. Don't set a small goal. Don't set something that doesn't really wind your stem. Set it so big it jazzes you. It really gets you going. When something of a very high nature resonates with the very high side of you, you'll know it. You'll know it. You will feel it. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. The only prerequisite, do you want it? Not do you need it, not could you do it. The only prerequisite is, do you want it? Take the lid off your marvelous mind and dream. For goodness sake, give yourself the right to do that. Get your analytical mind out of the way. Put it in your pocket for a while. All you're doing is exploring, daydreaming. What did Lawrence say? All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their mind waken the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dream with open eyes to make it possible. This I did.
All right, welcome, 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 welcome. I am so glad to be here. And I'm so glad that you're here. So welcome to day one of the Get Unstuck Challenge. I hope that you can hear me loud and clear. If you can't, please say something in the chat like, Ryan, I can't hear you at all. But you should be able to hear me. My name is Ryan Resmer, and I'm the founder of the Get Unstuck Challenge. I've been doing this for many sessions over the past many seasons here of the challenge. And every month I come back and do this again because it helps people, because this is the thing that helped me. And we are here to help you get unstuck. And that's what this is all about. So right away, if you are ready, if you are with me and you're here and you're ready to get unstuck, somebody type me in the chat right now. Okay? It's just you. It's just me. It's just us having a conversation tonight. And yeah, you've never met me before, likely. So again, my name is Ryan Resmer. We are going to go through it together this week. I'm telling you, powerful transformations are at hand for you. And yeah, I just wanted to check in with you just as people are joining here and people are getting onto the stream. Hopefully everybody is joining live. I know some people will be watching the replay after the fact, and that is totally okay. So what's happening here? Is this a webinar? Is this a workshop? What the heck is this? What the heck is a challenge? If you have not been a part of this before, then welcome. If you have been, welcome back. I know that there's some people who have re-registered 2, 3, 4, 5 times or more to come and get, because they get a lot out of this. So what is this? This is a challenge, okay? It's not just a workshop. Heck no. This is not just a webinar where you sit and you spectate. This is a challenge. So let me just start by sharing 2 quotes with you here. First, listen to this by Napoleon Hill. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. That's you. That is you. Whatever you can think up in your mind, you can achieve, okay? If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. That was my mentor, Bob Proctor, who said that. Read those again. Think about those again. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And that's you. And if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Because there's a reason that you're here, first and foremost, right? I'm here. I'm giving this out to you. I am hoping that you get a lot out of this tonight. And I know that there's a reason you're here. And I actually know a little bit about why already, because I've been reading some of the questionnaires and I've been reading the chat messages on the WhatsApp group, and I have been seeing some of the emails that have been popping in since you've registered over the last few days. You might want financial freedom. Maybe that's part of it. I know for sure you want to stop worrying about money. You want more time with your family. You want to travel more. You want to build something. You want to retire. Maybe you want to take better care of your kids and your family. I saw that come up for lots of people. You want to wake up excited about your life again. And some of you told me, Ryan, I don't even know what I want anymore. I don't know what I want anymore. But here's what I heard underneath both answers. You're tired of feeling stuck. You're tired of overthinking. You're tired of telling yourself to go and do something and then watch yourself not do it. Is that hitting home for anybody? Say me in the chat if that's you. Telling yourself to go and do something and then watching yourself not do it. That was me as well. You might be tired of just falling back into the same patterns. And most importantly, you're scared that another year is going to go by and nothing actually changes for you. If any of this sounds like you, welcome Montana. Hi, nice to see you, Ron. H103701 from Montana. I know people are joining from all over the place, time zones and all of that kind of stuff. Type a me in the chat if this is resonating with anyone, okay? Yeah, Christina, I can see, is saying me. That is me. Because look, and that's good. That's good because that is what we're here to do something about. And let me be very clear before we start. Is this a webinar? Hell no. Is this another workshop where you'll sit and you'll take some notes and you'll feel inspired for an hour and then you'll go back to your regular life? Heck no. That is not how I designed it. And that is not what I want for you to get out of it. This is a challenge. Somebody say challenge. So I'm going to get you to talk. I can't hear you back. You don't have your mics on and I can't hear everybody chiming back. But I want you to chime back at me. I want you to talk back to me because that's the way that you can get involved, okay? Who is ready to actually be challenged this week? If you're ready, somebody type, I'm ready. Lisa, you're already ahead of me here. Maria, myself, I am ready. Somebody type, I'm ready in the chat. Because this week is going to be like a 1-2 punch for you, okay? First, the first punch is going to be, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you and share with you some critical information. We're going to look at why you are stuck. That is what you're not finding on the internet. There's people that are claiming all sorts of tips and tricks and strategies and do this and invest your money in this and start up this business. And that's not why you're feeling stuck. There are so many reasons out there and there are very, very few who have the real reason why you're stuck. So I'm going to give you that this week. We're going to get crystal clear at why we're stuck and we're going to get clearer about exactly what you want. And maybe you already know exactly what you want, but we are going to get into that and see where you're going and what needs to change for you to get there. That's me. That's these sessions. That's your workbook. But that's only half of the challenge. That's punch number one, is getting into these concepts and me teaching you. Punch number two. Somebody say punch number two. Punch number two is you have to do the work. It is a show up participation challenge, okay? This challenge is about implementation. I typed that in the chat this afternoon. I want you to be participating. I want you to be showing up. Of all the people that are registered for this event, of all the people that jumped into the WhatsApp group, of the people who are on this call, this is not for everybody. Some of you will sort of coast through, maybe come to a session, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and say, it's more of the same. And you don't give it your full effort and your full focus and attention. But I'm telling you, I have had, I want to say now, hundreds of people not just go through the challenge, because hundreds and hundreds and hundreds have gone through the challenge, but hundreds of people have responded back to me in emails, in text messages, on the phone, on, like a FaceTime or WhatsApp chat, to tell me, like, Ryan, this thing changed something for me this week. Light bulbs were going off. My heart felt full of hope that, like, something could change, something different. I had a tactical, practical plan of exactly what I need to do next. Action, effort, implementation. That is what this week is about. So you got to be taking action, and then I'm going to reward that. I told you already about some, not prizes, because they're not just free giveaways, but rewards that I'm giving out to people who are invested, that are showing up, and that are taking action. So making decisions, writing things down, and taking steps starting right now. Because you can't change your life by just showing up and watching a YouTube video and hoping that something in there flicks on a light and changes everything for you. That's not what happens. That is not how change happens in your life. And if you've been approaching it that way, that's part of the reason maybe you're stuck. Okay, I want you to snap out of this. I want to help you this week, because you can't change your life by just listening to me. And I saw all through the questionnaire, some of you already know what you should be doing. But here's the thing, listen to me, knowing isn't the problem. The problem is turning what you know into what you consistently do. And that's why I want you to be doing. And I want you to be doing it for you, not for me. Don't do it for me, some stranger coming to you through the interwebs from Toronto in my dark, moody office here. Do it for you, okay? For your goal, for your family, for your freedom, for your future, for that voice inside of you that keeps saying, there has got to be more than this. And more importantly, do it for your future self. Because that version of you who finally did it, that version of you who stops hesitating, stops second guessing yourself, that stopped waiting for the perfect time, that version of you that started making decisions differently, that started taking control of direction of their life, that person is not some stranger. It's not some movie character in your imagination. That voice inside of you, that person is you. But you have to start showing up like them. And that's why I tell people, and you're going to hear the statistic all the way through the week, success is 95% mindset and only 5% strategy. And I'm going to prove this to you over the week. You're going to see it so clear. You can have a plan. You can have the perfect business idea, the perfect education. You can have the perfect template, the perfect action steps, the perfect network connection. You can have perfect strategy. You can have all the money. You can have all the money and still go nowhere, still feel stuck. Because it's the thinking that's created results, and your current result is still running the show. You can change the year, you can change the plan, you can change the opportunity, and still end up repeating the same patterns. Why is it? Why is that? We're going to answer that this week. We're going to get into that actually tomorrow night. What is that code that's controlling everything that you can't seem to snap out of? Okay? How you think, what you believe, what you've accepted about yourself. And what happens, this is the magic sauce right here. Somebody say magic sauce. This, we're going to find out on Thursday, on Wednesday into Thursday, what happens when you say yes. And the version of you that you say yes to runs ahead and becomes the version of you that's sitting in your chair right now. When those two meet up, like there's so much power there. I can't even wait to get into it. So that is where the work is, okay? So I'm going to show up for you this week. I'm going to be here on time. I'm going to stay late. I'm going to answer questions. I'm going to be in the chat. I'm going to be in the WhatsApp group. I will email you. I'll give you everything that I have. But what I need from you is this. Are you willing to show up for you this week? If the answer is a yes, somebody type a yes in the chat. Somebody give me a yes. All right, so then let's make a deal. Don't give up on me halfway through the week. Show up. Show up. Do the work. Take the action and be open to the possibility that you have dramatically underestimated what you're capable of. I don't care how many times you've started before and stopped before. How many times you get going and then it fizzles out. There's a reason why, and I'm going to teach it to you this week, and I'm going to give you a bunch of good tools and resources and exercises that you can do to get yourself moving into action, okay? Yes, 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 yes. I'm just seeing the chat just pop up here. This is so great. Someone's saying magic sauce. I know you're following with me. Let me show you here. Let me get my name off the screen. Christina says that she is ready. Colleen says she's ready. Yeah, Ron says, I'm my own worst critic. And that can be all of us. That can be all of us at times. Thank you for being honest. That's where we all have been many times. But let's get to work. It's time to get to work, okay? It's not about sitting and listening. You are going to do work. You're going to take action. You're going to get involved. Not for me, but for you, okay? For your future self. So there's something that I want to share with you just before we get going, and that is this. We've kind of touched on it already. And that's, it comes from a little quote that I heard from Stephen Pressfield in his book called Turning Pro. And I heard this from someone who's really impacted my life, that I've gone through a bunch of their programming and whatnot, and is really helped explain this. And that is the concept turning pro. Turning pro. Somebody say turning pro. Somebody say turning pro in the chat. What does that mean? Listen to this. Our lack of fulfillment, this is the quote from Stephen Pressfield. Our lack of fulfillment is due to an amateur way of showing up for ourselves. If your capacity to do something is greater than your results, then it's because of this idea. And so it's time for us, everybody in the chat. I keep looking down here because I'm seeing the chat blowing up. Turn pro, turn pro. Because it's time for us to turn pro. So who's going to go pro with me? I'm seeing turning pro. I'm seeing it in the chat already. It's time for you to step into who you already know you are. To put off that old man and put on the new version of you. So when we turn pro, you think of a professional versus an athlete. Like think of we just had the World Cup here in Toronto. It was like wild, and I know it was in the States as well. Think of like the athletes who are on the field, the professionals. How do they show up? How do they physically act? They are there, they're focused, heads up, shoulders back, eyes focused, right? Regardless how they played yesterday, they show up every day no matter what. And pros, they take action every day no matter what. And they make it happen. Amateurs sit in the crowd and they watch from the stands. And they drink their cold beer or warm beer and a cold hot dog, and they gossip amongst themselves, and they talk about what's going down on the field, right? They sit back. But pros show up. They are there on time. They never miss a game. They are they see themselves as paid to do this, and they show up and they act like they are a part of this team. Yeah? Turning pro is where it's at. So I challenge you this week, turn pro. Show up for you. Let's do it, okay? So a couple of housekeeping things as we get going. We're not going to have all of these extra housekeeping every night, but I want to drop it in here on the first session. So all of this is going to be happening live on YouTube just like this. The YouTube is also live in the portal. What is the portal? People are like, what is this alternate dimension, this portal that you keep talking about? It's just the website that I'm going to tap in the chat right now in case. Copy. Go over here. Boom. Paste. Send. So this is the portal. It's this website. It's challenge.ryanthecoach.com portal, Portal, okay? All of your homework is going to be in there. The links to all the videos are in there. Reminders are in there. Right now, there's just one video for tonight, but as the session goes on, stuff is going to appear and pop in, and I'm adding new material and new resources and some articles and some tools, and there's so much stuff that goes in there. So go back, bookmark that portal, bookmark it on your phone, bookmark it on your desktop, on your laptop, wherever you're taking this call from, wherever you're joining us from. Make sure that you get in there, okay? There's lots of good stuff, and that's where the magic happens. Number 2, Q&A sessions. Q&A. So this week, I know this is a one-way message going out here on YouTube, but tomorrow at 12 noon, so day 2, September 1st at 12 noon, we've got a Q&A session on Zoom. Everyone can join. Everyone's going to be on camera. Anyone who joins the call can chime in and ask questions, and we're going to talk, asking questions about tonight's session, helping you sort out your goals. Okay, so that's tomorrow. And there's another one on Friday as well, right after our session on Friday. So make sure you watch that. It's all going to be in the portal. All right. Gifts and prizes. So I talked about some rewards. Who likes a reward? Yeah, free reward. So free, yes, but it's not a prize. It's not just a free giveaway. They are earned. They are earned rewards, and that's the catch. It's not a raffle. This is not a random draw. I'm rewarding people who show up and who do the work. Why? Because when I showed up and I did the work, everything changed for me. When my clients show up and they do the work, everything changes for them. I had someone in a challenge before, showed up, did the work, boom, started producing music, started generating income off that. Like within days. I had someone come on the challenge. By the second day of the challenge, an idea, a book that they were wanting to publish for months and had worked on bits of it, boom, put it together. By the end of the challenge on day 5, they had that book published on on Amazon, in the store, like push action taking. Okay, so people who are here to take action, regardless what your goal is, whatever, maybe you don't even know what that is yet, we're going to sort it out. But I want you to be taking action. So attend all the sessions live, not just on the replay. So I can see who's in the session live. I see you participating in the chat. You got to be here live, because I'm going to announce live the winners in the selected reward recipients, shall I say, here on the chat, on the live. Okay, be active in the WhatsApp group. Be helpful. I see people even through the day today. Like I said, this is not going to be for everybody. For some of you, this will change your life. For others, you may coast by and miss out on this big change. I've seen people already, jumping out or leaving the challenge, leaving the WhatsApp group. Maybe it's too many messages or something like that. It's totally fine if it's not your thing, but I'm telling you, this is where the magic is. Be active in there. Help somebody else. Answer a question. Bring some good energy. I've already seen that happening through the day today. So keep it coming, okay? And the last thing is complete the work. You got to do the work. And that means posting your homework and doing the homework for yourself. So as you see through, we're going to go through the workbook a little bit tonight. You're going to have homework every day that appears in the portal. The 1, 2, 3, 4 steps of the homework are always in the portal. It has a link directly to the WhatsApp group there. So you can, it's really easy to do, to click back and forth. You got to do the homework. That is where I've spent hours and hours and hours on putting this book together, this workbook for you. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story in a minute here, of where I came from and where this whole challenge came from. But my point is, do the homework. And starting tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, I'm going to announce somebody who's getting a prize pack. And I wish I had one right next to me, but they're all downstairs right now on the table, ready to get shipped. It is nice. There are books in there. There's stuff in there that you don't want to miss out on. And I'm going straight down to UPS or to FedEx or to shipping, the shipping station place, to get those in the mail straight away after the session. Okay, so we are like, this gets to you quick, and I don't want you to miss out on that. So if I call your name and you're on the live, boom, you will win, and you'll reach out to me by email. If you're not on the live, I move on to someone else who is. So you got to be here to win. Remember, this challenge is hands-on and is designed for implementation. This is not a spectator sport, okay? So I'm going to go over to the workbook now. Let me just show the workbook. So this is the workbook. Going to go back a couple of pages here. You'll see you can download the 5-day online challenge, the Get Unstuck Challenge, live in the portal. It is right there. Whoops, that's the wrong button. It's right there, and I'm going to take you through this. It has a little note for myself. It's got a reminder of what we're covering through the week, and you can see what all the actions are there. This is what I want to read with you right now. Okay, so let's just start right. Let's start with a commitment, a decision that you're making. Yes, Charisse, love it. Yes, a big yes from Charisse. Max, love it. In the chat here, I'm seeing lots of great stuff in the chat. Yeah, I want you to read this out loud with me. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. Read this for yourself. Connect with me here. I commit to showing up for myself. This means attending all 5 live sessions because I want to surround myself with a group of like-minded people that I'm going to feel their energy and feel the power of mentoring. This will increase my probability of achieving my goals over the next 12 months. Let's make an intention here. You with me? I commit to making time to focus on me, which means completing the exercises and action steps for each day of the challenge. Come on, somebody say yes, you're going to do this. You're here. You're showing up for you. You're turning pro. You got it? And the last chunk here, I commit to being open to new ideas, which means changing my existing way of thinking and taking action toward the results I want to see in my life. That's the commitment that I want you to make for you, okay? We've got 30 minutes left. It just feels like we're scratching the surface, I know, but time is going real quick tonight. And so I want to take you through a few things. I promised you I'm going to lay this out a couple of different ways. And so tonight, this is in your workbook, tonight is called Establishing the Vision. It is all about goals. Listen to this powerful quote. This is amazing, and I hope you write this down. I hope you memorize this. I hope you get this into your heart, get this into your mind, get this into your subconscious. Just program yourself with this. And don't forget this, because it is the honest-to-God truth. Those who reach decisions promptly and definitely know what they want, and generally they get it. The leaders in every walk of life decide quickly and firmly. That is the major reason why they're leaders. The world has the habit of making room for the man or woman, for the person whose words and actions show that he knows where he is going, that she knows where she is going, that they know where they are going. Like, that is a powerful quote from Napoleon Hill, and that is the foundation of where we're going here tonight. Making a decision for you. We make a decision quick. We don't have to think about it for days. You know what you want. You know the life that you want. You might only know that it is hella not this right here. That you want to change something. That you want something bigger, something greater, something more amazing. That is where it starts. Okay? So this week, I am going to, like I talked about that 1-2 punch, this is where we're starting punch number 1. Where I'm going to teach some things. I'm going to teach you the purpose of a goal and how to find your goal and how to commit to that goal. That's what I'm going to teach you right now. And then boom, what's punch number 2? You're going to take action and you're going to start writing that down. Okay? So that's where we are. That's where we are in the night so far. So what is it tonight? This is what we're going to teach to you. I'm going to teach you what a goal is. I'm going to teach you what a goal is not. Let me go back up to my main camera here. What a goal is not. And I'm going to get you going on a list of some things that you really want. Personally, things in your business, things in your professional life, things in your personal life. Okay? Because hear me out. Somebody can be stuck earning $40,000 a year, and someone can be completely stuck who's earning $400,000 a year. I'm telling you, it is not about the amount of money. It is about knowing what you want and what you're capable of, trying everything to know you know how to do, and then still not being able to make a change. That is being stuck. And maybe it's that you don't even know what to do. You don't even know where to start, and that's okay too. So I want you to have 2 sheets of paper. I want you to have 2 sheets of paper going. You're gonna hear from me lots that there's something very scientific and very important about writing down with a pen and paper. Not typing it with 2 thumbs on your phone, not typing it with 8.5 fingers and a couple of thumbs on the space bar on your keyboard. Writing it down with pen and paper, okay? 2 sheets of paper going, and I want you to keep them in front of you for the rest of the call and for when you're doing your homework. You're not gonna do this during the call. You might get ideas and start scratching things down now, but I want you to stay focused with me, okay? You're going to do this after the call, and you're just going to let loose, and you're going to just go for it. I want you to be writing it down, and you got to want it. You got to want it bad. And what's going on the paper, what's going on the first paper is anything that you want. I'm talking about, I asked you in the questionnaire to put lots of detail in. Tell me in great detail about what you really want your life to look like. My God, that was like really powerful seeing some of those responses come in. People saying, someone said like, I want a castle. Someone wanted a castle that had, room for 1,000 people. Other people were talking about like the concept of just being really total financial freedom where I don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. And I can give my kids the vacation and the backyard and the pool that they've been begging for, right? I read these, I looked through all of them. That is what you want to write down there. And you want to write it down in great detail. So pen and paper, not digital. On the second paper, and I want you to keep building that list. So build that list. 10, 15, 20 things. Like don't worry if it's too big, if it's too expensive, it's going to take too long. If you think it's like a 10-year goal, a 20-year goal, a 1-year goal, don't worry about that. It's about how does it make you feel? Because right now you feel stuck. And so what we want to do is get our imagination going and actually get into our heart and into our feeling and say like, oh, what do I really want my life to look like? What do I really, really want? What's the car I really want to be driving? What is the house I really want to be living in? What is my job looking like that I really want to be working in? Or the business? How much money am I really earning? What is that going to get for me? How would that change everything? I want you to write all those things down. You're starting with like this is not a vision board of like a bunch of stuff you're going to all do this year. No, we're going to boil it down because the second sheet of paper is going to be 1 or 2 things. And then I'm going to make you pick one thing. What is the one single solitary thing? You don't got to do this today. You don't have to decide on the one thing today. You just got to start the sheet of paper that says, here's the one thing that I want. And maybe it's one thing. I think a good idea is to do one thing personally, a personal thing that you want that maybe doesn't have any money attached to it, and one thing professionally. So like a dollar amount measurable thing that you want that you're going to go after. And there's some science behind why, because money is one of the only things in this life that we can really truly measure to the penny. You can know if you're doing well against your goal, because if your goal was $10,000 and you're at $1,000, you can see exactly where you are to a measurable amount towards that goal, right? And it tells a lot about you, which we're going to look into tomorrow. So there it is. And then on the portal, you're going to see there's a goal card that's in there. It looks something like this. Oh, this is not. Looks like this. On one side, it says goal card, and on the other side, it's just got some lines where you can write out your goal. This is something that you're going to, I have now one that has 2 sides because I got a little drawing on the one side, and then I've got my goal written on the other side. This is something that you need to have with you. And we're going to show you in a couple of minutes how. So let's get into this because I really want to help you understand what a goal is, what a good goal is, what a goal is not, how to write it out, and how to get emotionally involved in the goal. So let me tell you really quickly as I'm getting going here, my story. What makes an amazing goal? So there was a night, and I'm going to go into full detail. I'm going to have a guest that come on. My friend is going to join us from over the seas from Ireland to come and talk to us on Thursday night. And I'm going to go into full detail and take 10, 15 minutes and really like give you my whole story. But there was a night I was on a treadmill at 11 o'clock. I was in the back corner of the gym. I was crying. The staff, like full on tears streaming down my face. The staff downstairs were literally shutting off all the lights, okay? And I was there running. Not because I was inspired, not because I was training for a race or something, not because I was any good at running. I felt like life was crushing down on me. I was stuck in a job that I used to love, I had grown to hate, and that was stripped away from me. Taken away, lost my job. I had been making $48,000 a year and now was making zero. Well, a little bit on like employment insurance. I was working in a toxic environment, feeling totally disrespected, overlooked, completely trapped. I felt like I was a place filler, okay, in my own life. And the scariest part is I started to believe that maybe all that there was, that was maybe all there was for me. Maybe I wasn't meant for anymore. Maybe this big life that I dreamed about was just a fantasy that was always going to be at an arm's length. Maybe I was the problem. So I did what most people do, most driven people do, is when they get desperate, I tried to outwork it. I tried to work harder. I read all the books. I took courses. I hired coaches. I spent thousands of dollars. I spent up like staying up every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night till 3 o'clock in the morning searching for an answer. All the YouTube bunny trails you can think of. Nothing changed. I was stuck, still underpaid, still frustrated, still watching other people get picked, other people get fit to get ahead while I stayed exactly the same. And then one conversation changed my life. When I was on that treadmill, my phone rang, and it was a mentor who helped me see that the problem wasn't my boss, it wasn't my resume, it wasn't my circumstances, it wasn't any outside force, it wasn't any, amount that was in or not in my bank account. The problem was my programming. It was my thinking. And I had spent years trying to change my life from the outside. A to B to C to D, from the bottom up, from the bottom side up, standing in this low place and looking up to where I wanted to be. Well, I saw that was completely backwards. And she helped me see that when real breakthrough happens, when you really change people on the other side of change, they say like hindsight is 20/20. You can always see clear after the fact. People on the other side of change always see that it actually happens from the inside out and from the upside down. It doesn't happen from the outside in. It doesn't happen from changing anything else around you. It comes from inside out and from upside down. Not looking at where I am and trying to problem solve this low, challenging situation area that I'm in. But we've got to use our mind to get up into the goal achieved, up into that place where we want to go, because it's from that place that we can look down and say, when we can click in with that, everything can change. And when I saw that, and I talked to her and started working with her over a course of like a couple of weeks, everything started to change. Within months, I had found a job and more than tripled my income. I mean, do the math. That's pretty good jump forward. And then 6 months after that, I doubled it again. And then I doubled it again. I eventually started a business. I became my own boss. I lost over like 70 pounds. I built real confidence. I got absolutely fit with like abs and, the muscles and the physique and the body and the health and the fitness level that I've always had wanted. I became a person that I used to sit there wishing that I could be. And now I help other people do exactly the same. And I don't say all of this to brag. Trust me. You'll get to know me this week. I'm not a cocky, arrogant guy. I know that, this stuff helped me so much. And so why am I doing this challenge? Why is this totally for free? Like hours and hours of planning and work and effort, plus all of these sessions, plus all the Q&As, plus all the calls I'm going to have one-on-one with a bunch of you guys after. Why am I doing all of this? Because I looked back at myself on that treadmill when I had gotten to a certain place in life, and I'm living in my dream home and I have my dream family, and I have to stretch myself to challenge for the next goal every time. And I said, if I could just go back and take Ryan by the shoulders and just like shake him by the shoulders, what would I say? What would I tell him? What would be the thing that he really, really needs to know? And how would I lay that out? Like, how would I teach myself going back in time those things? And I really started to put some effort in. I talked to some other friends and I came up with these 5 topics that I'm going to go through. This is it. This is the stuff. This is literally everything that you need to get your life unstuck, to put yourself on a path of momentum, to build the confidence, to overcome the fear, to stop procrastinating, to stop being in that rut, to start moving forward, to start picking yourself up, to start seeing change actually happen at work, in your family, in your relationships, in your bank account. This is all that you need, okay? What is a goal? So what is a goal? There are 3 types of goals, and I'm going to talk to you about this. This one mistake people keep making, and it keeps them stuck for years. Let me say that again in case it's not clear. This one mistake keeps people stuck for years, and it is the importance of having a goal. A goal is the fuel that you need to start the machine. It's what starts us in motion. This is how we act. This is how we move. And so if you don't have your goal clearly defined, that's the first breaking point of all of this. You've got to have your goal. My mentor asked me when I first started working with him, Bob Proctor, who is no longer with us, but I have the very great privilege and honor to be on like many calls and mentoring sessions and coaching sessions and all like countless hours on video, on Zoom, on the phone with him, learning and understanding like how this stuff all works. And it's just impacted me so much. And one thing that he said in the very first meeting was, so what's your goal? And I was like, well, I want to make more money. I want to, do the things that I've always thought that I should do, like live up to my potential. That was my goal. He's like, well, that's a terrible goal. Like, how do you know when you got that finished? I'm not really sure. Tell me, Bob. And he said, if you don't have your goal written down, and if somebody else stopped you in the street and asked you, what's your goal? Could you explain it to them? Could you explain it to them in a way where they could then turn around and have crystal clarity and know exactly what it is that you're reaching for, exactly what it is that you are aiming for? If you can't do that, then your goal is not clear enough. Okay, so getting clear on your goal is the first thing. And secondly, a goal is designed to what? Why do we have goals? What's the point of a goal? Is it just to get more things, to get more stuff, to get more money? No. Somebody type it in the chat here if you have a guess of what you think a goal is for. Because nobody talks about this. Nobody talks about what the goal is. They talk about, this is how you get a goal. This is how you achieve a goal. You just do this and you write this down and you do these steps and you make 6 things you're going to take an action on today. And the whole thing is, if your goal is not serving the purpose, the actual purpose of a goal, all of those things will be in vain. The purpose of a goal is one thing. One thing. And this is to grow. If you are not growing, you are shrinking. Look around. Like, every single living thing on this planet is growing. We're designed to grow. Trees grow. Time is moving forward. So if you're not growing, you're actually disintegrating. In life, there's a myth that I like to bust and just burn the holy cow that people have been thinking onto. Because I saw it in the questionnaires. I saw it in the chat already. People feel like I'm spinning my wheels, like I'm standing still in life. My brothers and my sisters, this is a myth. There is no such thing as standing still. You are either moving forward or you're moving backward. Because if you're standing still and you're not doing anything, time is moving forward. The trees are growing. Your body is aging. Your time is ticking on towards a day where you're not here anymore. So if you are standing still, not just physically in like one spot on earth, I'm talking about not growing, you are actually disintegrating. You're moving backwards because time and the world is moving forward. We are designed to be ever expanding in fuller expression towards what is bigger, what is greater, what is more. That's why every single person has this innate desire for more, for something more for themselves, something more in the bank, something more for their kids. We want more, and it's the most natural and like God-given instilled desire inside of us. So a goal is designed to help you grow. And it's also designed to be a compass. So if you have a goal that is going to help you grow, it becomes a compass and shows you the direction, right? Because if you're like, think of yourself, you're leaving Toronto and you're headed to LAX on a plane. If I'm leaving my house and I got to get to the airport and I got to get through the airport and I've got to get into my seat and the pilot has to get down the runway and make the right turn and set the GPS to get to where we're going. If I don't know where I'm going and I leave my house in my car, and I usually pull in to my driveway. So if I'm backing out of my driveway, do I go north or south on my street? Do I go left or right? Which way do I go? If you don't have a goal, you are just going nowhere. You don't know where to go. But if you have a goal, I know, okay, I actually have an option right now. I could go north or south, and both are going to take me out to the main street. Fine. What about when I get to the main street? Then it becomes like a Kleenex box where every day you have new situations that come to you that are unexpected, things that happen that are unexpected, like the next Kleenex that's popping out. You know when you pull a tissue out of the tissue box and then the next Kleenex kind of pops out at you? Well, you can't see what's on that next Kleenex because that's how time works. But if you have a goal, you know whether or not you're going to take that turn left or right. When an opportunity comes to you in that Kleenex, you either are going to take it and use it, or you're maybe just going to take it and pull and wait for the next Kleenex that aligns with your goal. That is what a goal does. It gives you like a compass. So I'm going to go to my iPad for a second. I want to draw something for you and really just help you to see this. iPad, where are you? Okay, here we go. So I'm going to move over here. Let's see if I can draw this out for you. So first of all, there's three types of goals. There are three types of goals. Number one, is this showing up? Yes, you can see this. So first of all, we're going to call it A, B. We're not going to call it number one. Let me just back out of here straight away. That's not 1, 2, 3. I just want to do A, B, C. So there's A, B, and C type goals. All right. And this is how Bob Proctor taught it. This is really, really clear for me. I help my clients through this. I want to help you through this. Okay. An A type goal is what we call the knowing type of goal. So what does that mean? This is something that you've done before. This is literally something that you have done before. So if you have done something before, if you've accomplished something before, if you're earning $50,000 in a job and you work in healthcare and you work at a clinic and you're the intake, manager at a clinic and you make $50,000 a year and you don't like your boss and you don't like the environment. If your goal is to find a new job at a different clinic as an intake manager making $50,000 a year or even $60,000 a year, is that a good goal? Does that classify as something that you already know how to do? Yes, it does. You already have been working in that job. You already know how to do that job. You already know that you're able to do that job. And so going and finding something that's just exactly like what you already have is a knowing type of goal. And so we don't want that kind of goal. Then there's a B type. The B type is a goal called a logic goal. It's based on logic. It's based on you thinking, okay, it's something maybe that you've never done before, but it's like, okay, now if maybe it's, it's not the clinic manager, maybe it's not in healthcare, maybe it's just in another field, maybe it's in architecture or it's in banking or another industry, another job another business that sets appointments that might have a similar type of role. And if maybe it's earning more, or maybe it's a step up, it's like a supervisor position or it's a director position or a regional manager position. For you to just go from one step to the next up the ladder, just from here to here, and you say, okay, so now if I talk to this person, if I get this certification, and if I go take this course and I read this book and I update my resume like this and I apply, then boom, I could get a job like this, where it's, maybe 10,000 more, 15,000 more in a year. That is a goal that's based on logic. It's just based on you using your conscious mind. And that is also not a good idea for a goal. That is something that you can always get to and you can do it, but it's not going to fulfill you. And 2 months, 3 months, 6 months after you find that job, you're going to be burnt and stuck feeling again. Why? because the goal is not making you grow. It's not stretching you to something new. So we don't want that kind of goal either. We want a C-type goal, a big C-type goal. And what is a C-type goal? A C-type goal is based on our wants. What do you want? What do you really want? And this is the difference where we know, okay, something, it's not going to be something that I've done before in the past. It's not going to be something that I can just try to figure out and know how to do through logic. This has got to be something that is what I really want. Because that, tapping into what you really want and going after it is the thing. That is that piece of the pie, one of the pieces of the pie that is really, really missing. And that's why I'm, really focusing in on sharing this as a key topic for teaching you tonight. Because wants, what you want. When was the last time you actually asked yourself, what do you want? I mean, look, Max, Margot, Colleen, what do you want? I mean, what do you really want? Let that just sink in for a second. What does that look like? What do you want your life to look like? Ask yourself, and don't think about like, oh, well, how am I going to make that happen? Or where is the money going to come from? Or I don't know anybody in that industry. Or I've never had a business before. Or, like, an example of a C-type goal of something that you really want is, is selling your house, going and finding a rental that is half the living expenses of what you're currently doing, taking all of the proceeds, maybe besides a small little bit of what you sold for your house, and all of the extra funds that you have in your income, investing it all in your business, in a new business idea, and putting your whole self behind making that work, no matter what. And burning all the bridges of any, retreat backwards to put yourself on the hook to move forward towards that goal. That would be like a C-type goal. And you want to have a certain strategy that's there, and you want to get some mentorship, and you want to have all the right things that are in place to help you get there. Because I know there's some people that have been burned this way as well. Boom. I love what you're saying in the chat, Lisa. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And it starts with helping others, with giving and helping. You're growing when you're helping others. That's a part of the secret here. So a big C-type goal, something you've never done before, something that is beyond your capabilities, that is more than what you have ever accomplished, something that feels like a stretch, it should scare you and excite you at the same time. Okay? So a C-type goal. I've got a resource that's going to be in the it's going to be in the portal, and it's called I think it's called Goals Extra Stuff, or Goals I can't remember the title of it right now, but it's on goals. It's an extra article about goals, next level, goals next level, or level 2 or deeper stuff. It's a bit more thinking about goals, and it goes into more detail here. So I'll let you look that up. But I wanna share one more thing, and that is kind of the creative process of how we make this happen. So once you have a goal, and you have a big C-type goal that is your worthy ideal, this is the part that changes everything, and changed everything for me. Your true heart's desire, this big thing that you want, something that you've never done before. You don't know how to achieve it. It should make you excited and scared at the same time, like I say. And it's the difference between fantasy and reality. If you look around your life and you can see it already in reality, it's not a goal for you. Something that is like a fantasy out of your imagination for you, that is what you should be going for. Society, when we're coming up through school, they often tell us to not brainstorm, to not, daydream, to get out of our imagination and come back down to earth. Society often dismisses fantasy, but it is the truest version of what you can actually accomplish, because anything that you can come up with in your mind is you coming up with that in your mind. And where does that come from? It comes from the truest version of you. And so that's not something that you should take lightly or just disregard, okay? So the creative process goes like this. It's a 3-part triangle that goes like this. And the first is called a fantasy. And this is when we get into our imagination. We just start thinking what is it that I truly want? These are the things that are on your that sheet of paper that I want you to be building out, okay? That 10 to 15, 20 things that you really want. And then the next step, like once you build a fantasy and you have an idea of what that C-type goal is, it moves up this way to a theory. Once you have a fantasy built, you start to turn it into a theory. But how do you turn it into a theory? Here's the most critical piece about how to do that right now. You either have to say, you have to answer, oops, I'm moving stuff around here. You've got to answer two questions. One, am I able? Oops, able. You've got to answer, am I able? Am I actually able to do this? Am I able? You have to believe that it is possible for you because your human potential is infinite. The mistake that people make is that thinking that there is some sort of limit on you as a person of what you can accomplish. If you're aiming to make $100,000 or you're aiming to make $10,000, you can do either of those things. The plan that you come up with, if you decide to make $10,000, is going to be very different than the plan you come up with if you decide that you want to earn an extra $100,000. It's just a matter of the plan that's different. You are totally capable of doing it, and that's the first question. And I'm hoping that if you don't have the faith in yourself, if you don't have the confidence in yourself yet this week, that you can just borrow some of my confidence in you. I'm going to take some time and build you up and encourage you every day of this challenge so that you are going to leave here feeling so powerful, feeling so confident. I've got something called the Self-Confidence Formula. It's another free resource that comes from Napoleon's Hill, Think and Grow Rich, that I'm going to share with you as well and walk you through that on another day. I want you to be able to answer, yes, I'm able. The second question you need to answer if you're going to turn this fantasy into an actual theory and start working towards it as a goal is, am I willing? Am I willing? Am I willing to do whatever is necessary, whatever it's going to take? Am I willing to do whatever is required to change my thinking, to change my habits, to change my actions, to actually see this thing through, to overcome my fears, to step out and do that? Am I willing? Am I willing to do it? When you can say, yeah, I'm willing. I'm willing to embarrass myself. I'm willing to post my secret, heartfelt desires of what I really, really want in the chat on WhatsApp to a bunch of strangers. I'm willing to do that. And there is a reason that I've studied this for years and years and years and years. And I've studied with some of the most influential teachers and experts on human potential on this planet. And they all agree. All of science and all of psychology and all of theology and religion all agree only on one thing. And that is our thoughts are limitless and we can do anything that we can think of. There is no limit on the potential of human. So I want you to be able to answer, yes, I'm willing, and yes, I'm able. And when you do that, your theory, your fantasy can become a theory. That is when you can start getting the idea of how you're going to get there. But for now, I just want you to throw out the how right out of the window. You don't have to worry about how. When you're coming up with your list of 10 to 15 things, when you're coming up with your goal, you don't have to know how. You do not have to know how. You just have to know I'm willing, and even though I don't know how it's going to happen, I am able to do this because my potential is there. Okay? And that is it. And once you do that, soon you start taking action. This is the action wheel, or the action side here. Action. And then the theory becomes a fact. And this is where the part that we don't control. We don't control when we take an action out and some result comes back to us. We don't control the result that comes back. We're just responsible for taking the action on the theory that we have, all based on our fantasy, okay? And then eventually in time, that fact, well, that becomes our new reality. And so then it's time to move back to fantasy and start building bigger and more worthy and more amazing goals. Okay? So let me summarize this for you. I'm going to summarize this for you right now. So a goal is something you're going after that you have never done before. A goal is designed to help you grow. It causes you to draw something from inside yourself that you didn't know was there. okay? And if you know how to reach your goal already, then the goal is not going to do for you what a goal is designed to do, and it's not going to get you unstuck. Because 2, 3, 4 months after accomplishing that thing, you're still going to feel stuck, and you're going to go right back into that same rut. So if you're really going to accomplish something, and you really are going to get out of this rut and out of this place in your life and change, you need to be inspired by going after something that you really, truly want. Not just trying to fix this one problem. Not just if I could get that person out of my life. Not just if I had an extra $500 this month. That's way, way, way too small. It's got to be something that comes from deep inside of you. Okay? Boom. That is punch number 1. That is my teaching for punch number 1. So I'm going to ask you permission. Is it okay that we go a little bit longer? I'm going to go about 10 minutes more here because I really want to wrap up with the homework part. And I want to make sure I explain this clearly enough for you. For us to get going. So here we go. So that was, that was punch number 1. So punch number 2, who remembers what punch number 2 is? This is a 1-2 punch. So the punch number 1 is the teaching for you to understand what is this goal. Punch number 2 is action. Okay? And that's you. So now you've got the information. You've got some good information here. You've got to start. I see Max. He's like, let's do this. Love that. Let's do it. I received that, he says as well. That's great. And you know what, Colleen? I see what you say. Listen to this. I'm going to share this on screen. I hope you're okay with this. Colleen says, I totally went off on a tangent on the questionnaire. And I need to sit with myself more and figure this out. That is a jewel. That is a rare and precious little jewel of wisdom right there. And that is going to help somebody else. So thank you for sharing that, Colleen. That is so important and so critical. And that's what this first night and the first day is about. It's about sitting with yourself and figuring this out and getting clear on what it is that you really want. And that's why I just wanted you to prime the pump of discussion on that questionnaire, because now you're going to put pen to paper and you're really going to bring some clarity. When you write, things become clearer. It gets out of you and onto the paper. So now it's out of you. You can look at it objectively. It also helps to bring some clarity in your mind to your thinking around this thing, okay? It's not enough when we sit and we think. So many people in the questionnaire said, I overthink too much. I'm overthinking. Yeah, you're overthinking. You're not doing. And even the act of writing out your goal is doing. Do you hear me? I love that. It's doing. We've got to get it out. Writing your goal, thinking about something in your mind and trying to figure it out internally in your head is not the way to think about it. We don't do it in the corporate world. We don't do it in the professional world. I don't do it in my consulting business, in my coaching practice. We get things out. We put it in a presentation. We put it in a document. We put it on a whiteboard. We put it on a notepad. You get it out and you write it down. So what do you do with this information? You've got to take some action on it, okay? And this is where most people stop. They hear something powerful, then they check out and they say, okay, the session's done. I'm going to log off, and that was great. And yeah, a few little, warm fuzzies, and then they're on to what's next. No, I don't want you to stop there. You've heard something powerful. You've got some insight. Some kind of little light bulb hopefully went on for you. Now you've got to think, wow, it's, time for dinner. Got to email, got to Instagram, got to do things, fine. Not tomorrow. Don't wait. You have insight right now. Take action right now. I want to challenge you to take the next half an hour to 60 minutes, 30 to 60 minutes right now to log off, to find a quiet spot, to get in a room, get in a piece of paper, sit at your dining table, wherever you need to go. Go sit in the car. Go sit in the car with a piece of cardboard box. That's what I did the first time. I literally had a cardboard box as like a writing pad and a couple of sheets of paper. I was in my car. I had nowhere else to go that was quiet. Some of you told me in the questionnaires before this challenge even started that you already know what you should be doing, but you don't follow through and do it. Do this thing for yourself. Don't procrastinate. Don't overthink. Don't fall back into the same pattern. Yeah, the action here, this matters for you. So let's do it. I want you to answer the questions. You're going to do two things. I want you to get the workbook in front of you. Answer the questions in the workbook. They are designed to help you see where you're at and to help prime the pump of discussion. They're very scientifically and strategically designed here. I've laid them out in this order on purpose, and this comes from some of the world's experts on this that I have used and adapted and added some things in here too, okay? There's this no limits exercise in here, and that's where you ask, where I ask you in the workbook to describe what your life would change if there was absolutely no limits, you know, like what it could possibly look like. And so I want you to go and do that. I'm going to go down here real quick, pardon me, and share. Come on now. Skip down little pages. 6, 7. Here we go. If someone stopped you on the street and asked, what's your goal in the next 12 months? I want you to get real and answer these questions. I want you to tell yourself, look in the black and white page here and see, how has my income changed over the last 5 years? Because that's going to tell you a lot about the rut that you're stuck in, and how much you are okay earning and how much you're not okay earning. That should help to inform where you want to go, yeah? How does this make me feel? Get honest. Nobody is reading this except for you. It's just for you. Answer these questions. It's really important. If there were no limits, what would you like to change in my life in the next few days? I'm talking just by Friday. If you could change anything in the next few days, what would that be? So go through and answer these questions. And then question number 8 is really important. Writing a letter. Imagine it's 1 full year in the future from now. You are writing a letter today to yourself to tell them the absolutely mind-blowing, glass ceiling shattering things that you accomplished this year and what it feels like. So go there in the future and you're writing a letter to your past self, to the version of you today. You're sitting on September 1st, 2027, and you're looking back at Max and Colleen and Linda and Anita and everyone who's in the chat here. You're looking back on today's version of you with all of these amazing things that you've accomplished, and write a letter of how things went and what the year looked like and how it all turned out and how it all worked out for you. Powerful exercise. And then you get down and you write down your goal. And I've got some detailed steps about how to do that in your goal card. Okay? So find a closed door, get quiet, nobody around, not a noisy cafe, not at home if you've got lots of distractions like toddlers or kids running around like I do. Phone away, no distractions, and start writing it down. Okay? Print off the PDF, and then what I want you to do after you've got this big list going and these questions answered, I want you to look down the list. With just a couple of minutes left here, we're just about done. I want you to look down the list and I want you to pick one thing. Just one thing. The one thing that makes you the most excited, that gives you a little bit of goosebumps on your arms. The one thing that makes you a little bit emotional when you think about it. The one thing that is like the key that would maybe unlock all the other things. It's usually one single thing. And I want you to get really honest on what that thing is for you. And it's got to be something that you want bad. I mean, not something that's like a should do goal. Not something that your wife or your husband or your partner or your family or your mom or your social worker or your, boss or your kids want for you. If you want to be free, if I want to be free, I've got to be me. Not the me that you think that I should be. Not the me that my kids think that I should be. If I want to be free, I've got to be me. And I've got to go after the thing that I really want. Okay, so write that down. You got to pick that one thing, and that's your homework. So your homework is to get to a point where it's written down, and then you're going to write it down on a card, just like the goal card. There's a little teaching there about how to fill out the goal card. Go and read that. Put yourself into this. Throw yourself into this homework. This is the going deep kind of stuff. This is not just a quick YouTube video that you're going to watch and it's going to be like a magic wand that gets waved and it changes everything for you. Yeah? This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the magic is. This is the exercise. This is the plan that can unlock and change everything. This can be the inciting incident that just sets your life on a completely new chapter in a new direction. Okay, so dig in, get into this. And if you get stuck, I'm here. I'm your coach this week. Call me coach if you want. Call me Ryan. Just don't call me late for dinner, okay? Wow, that was really terrible. I'm a dad now, so I got dad jokes. Moving right along from that, ask me in the chat. Ask me how it's going. Drop your questions in there. I promise you. And if you say, Ryan, like if you have a question, I can almost guarantee there's over 250 people in that chat. Someone else has the exact same question. And they're maybe also stuck on how to fill this form or how to get that question answered or what did I really mean by the wording. Just ask me and I can help you out, okay? And the next thing, so write it down. You're going to write it on your goal card. I don't care, like if you've got a sticky note, if you've got a piece of paper, something sturdy is kind of important because then you want to write this out. I've got this little plastic sleeve that I put it in. It's like a credit card holder sleeve or a business card holder sleeve. And I carry it around in my pocket every day, all day. And every time I think about it, I reach down on my pocket and I touch that goal card and I just think again about like myself 6 months in advance, looking back on today, like if I make this happen, everything is going to change. I'm doing this. I'm willing, I'm able, I'm doing this. I'm so happy and grateful now that ... and you fill in what your goal is. Okay? Write it down, and your homework is this. To complete this exercise, I want you to take a picture of your notes that you took tonight, and I want you to take a picture of your goal card and post it in the WhatsApp group. All right? That's your homework. It's going to show up in the portal, so when you go to the portal's going to look different. Wave my magic technical wands, and the portal will look different when you log in there tonight. Go and do your homework, and join me on the call tomorrow, the Q&A call, because you've got to be here to show up. You've got to show up in order to get rewarded, and that's how the change is really going to happen. Okay? So again, so nice to be with you. I hope you got something really wonderful out of tonight. I know I always get something great. My gears are turning. Like I'm ready to get into this too. I'm gonna go put my kids to bed, and I'm gonna spend some more time on a couple of goals that are coming to my mind while I'm thinking about this. Also, if you have not done already, join the WhatsApp group, guys. If you're not in the WhatsApp group, that's who, and I've got metrics to see who is on here, who is on YouTube, who's in the WhatsApp group, who's participating. I'll check, who's dropped their homework, who's downloaded things from the portal. All those metrics are tracked, and that is how I'm measuring things, and that's how we grow. And so if you want to win and you want a prize pack shipped out to you, you've got to qualify and you've got to do all the things. Okay, so get in there. You got to get in the WhatsApp group. The link is in the portal. You got to be on the WhatsApp, on the Zoom call tomorrow. I put it at lunchtime from 12 to 1. It can go a little bit longer. I'll stay and make sure that everybody's questions get answered. But if you can, jump on there. Make it a priority. Don't make it a priority for me. If there's one person on there, I'm happy. If there's 0 people on there, I will still show up and be there for the whole 90 minutes waiting for somebody to come on. But make it a priority for you. This is the thing that could change you, okay? Who got something out of tonight? Give me like a big thumbs up in the chat here. I'm seeing some hearts blowing up. Really appreciate each of you. Thank you for giving me an hour and 15 minutes on your Monday night. Attend every session, take notes, apply what you learn, and start taking action right away. Go and write your goal card, okay? Good night to everybody, and we will see you tomorrow on the Q&A and tomorrow night on session 2. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. It is the thing that's been keeping you stuck. So this is about goals and how to set your goals, but tomorrow we're diving into the code. What is this programming in this code that you've got that is running the show? Why can't I snap out of this? Why do I keep going back to the same habits, the same patterns? Tomorrow night, I'm breaking it down for you. There's no introduction of 10, 15 minutes. So it's like full time, straight into the teaching. It is going to help you. Bob Proctor, who studied this stuff for 60 years, said that this one key concept that he learned, and that I'm going to share exactly how he shared it tomorrow night on the call, was the single most important idea that he had ever learned in his entire life. And it changed everything for him. And he had earned like millions upon millions and countless millions of dollars on various different businesses. Just everything that he learned, all of the incredibly globally influential people that he mentored, he accounts all of that to this understanding this one concept, and that's what I'm going to drop. tomorrow night. We're going to teach about it and then do some homework about it. Okay, everybody. So 8:16 Eastern. We are logging off at this time. Go. Be blessed. Have a great night. And we will see you back on the challenge tomorrow.